Be ready. Start. This court has dealt with this case on several occasions in the past and has repeatedly asked the state authorities to be sensitive, sympathetic, and requested them to put forward suggestions before the court to enable it to redress the grievances of the appellants. The respondents herein have placed various affidavits on record, and the facts of the case have fairly been admitted. The appellants were deprived of their immovable property in 1964 when Article 31 of the Constitution was still intact and the right to property was a part of fundamental rights under Article 19 of the Constitution. It is pertinent to note that even after the right to property ceased to be a fundamental right, taking possession of or acquiring the property of a citizen most certainly tantamounts to deprivation, and such deprivation can take place only in accordance with the law, as the said word has specifically been used in Article 300A of the Constitution. Such deprivation can be only by resorting to a procedure prescribed by a statute. The same cannot be done by way of executive fiat or order or administration caprice. In other words, Article 300A only limits the power of the state that no person shall be deprived of his property save by authority of law. There is no deprivation without due sanction of law. Deprivation by any other mode is not acquisition or taking possession under Article 300A. In other words, if there is no law, there is no deprivation. The right to property is now considered to be not only a constitutional or a statutory right but also a human right, though it is not a basic feature of the Constitution or a fundamental right. Human rights are considered to be in realm of individual rights such as the right to health, the right to livelihood, the right to shelter and employment, etc. Now, however, human rights are gaining an even greater multifaceted dimension. The right to property is considered very much to be a part of such new dimension. In the case at hand, there has been no acquisition. The question that emerges for consideration is whether, in a democratic body polity which is supposedly governed by the rule of law, the state should be allowed to deprive a citizen of his property without adhering to the law. The matter would have been different had the state pleaded that it has right, title, and interest over the said land. It, however, concedes to the right, title, and interest of the appellants over such land and pleads the doctrine of delay and laches as grounds for the dismissal of the petition stroke appeal. There are authorities which state that delay and laches extinguish the right to put forth a claim. Most of these authorities pertain to service jurisprudence, grant of compensation for a wrong done to them decades ago, recovery of statutory dues, claim for educational facilities, and other categories of similar cases, etc. Though it is true that there are a few authorities that lay down that delay and laches debar a citizen from seeking remedy even if his fundamental right has been violated under Article 32 or 226 of the Constitution. The case at hand deals with a different scenario altogether. Functionaries of the state took over possession of the land belonging to the appellants without any sanction of law. The appellants had asked repeatedly for grant of the benefit of compensation. The state must either comply with the procedure laid down for acquisition or requisition or any other permissible statutory mode. There is a distinction, a true and concrete distinction between the principle of eminent domain and police power of the state. Under certain circumstances, the police power of the state may be used temporarily to take possession of property, but the present case clearly shows that neither of the said powers have been exercised. A question then arises with respect to the authority or power under which the state entered upon the land. It is evident that the act of the state amounts to encroachment in exercise of absolute power, which in common parlance is also called abuse of power or use of muscle power. To further clarify this position, it must be noted that the authorities have treated the landowner as a subject of medieval India but not as a citizen under our constitution. The state, especially a welfare state which is governed by the rule of law, cannot arrogate itself to a status beyond one that is provided by the constitution. Our constitution is an organic and flexible one. Delay and laches is adopted as a mode of discretion to decline exercise of jurisdiction to grant relief. Thank you.